Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never alone. And here on Invisible Condition, all right, look, we get it. We know that life can be tough with an invisible condition. I mean, I'm 7 brain surgeries in. I can relate. The other thing that we understand though is that there is always hope. Always, there's always hope. And so if it's been a minute for you, if you've been struggling, if you've been in the dark, if you've been without that hope, join us, won't you? It's a beautiful thing. Hope is a beautiful thing. We'd love to have you. So, um, and the other thing that I wanted to talk about is just briefly before we bring our amazing guest on today is our nonprofit, which is called Hydro with Hope. And that organization is something that we created, Hydro with Hope, to help people with the condition I was born with. Actually, I was born with a condition called hydrocephalus, and it requires frequent brain surgery. And so I'm 7 brain surgeries in so far at 48 years old. And but some people have had triple digits worth of surgeries, and it can be a very unpredictable, very scary thing sometimes. And so we want to walk alongside those families and help them or answer their questions and be there for them and provide them with resources, which we have a journal, the 150-page fill in the blank journal that we created that walks people through that experience of, holy crap, I got to have what kind of surgery again? And how do you navigate doctors, and and then there's some fun stuff in there too. But then my wife and I are speakers. We love to go speak around the country about hope, about this condition doesn't have to control you. And so you can have an amazing life in spite of it. And so anyway, the point is we are accomplishing a lot, and we need more help. And so if you would like to donate, I would love to talk to you about that. Go to hydrowithhope.com, and you can do that there. And then also, if you are wanting to help us in any other way, whether it's advertising for the show or being on our board for our nonprofit, or anything that you think of that you want to ask me about, email me, invisiblecondition@e360tv.com, and we can even schedule a call together if you want and jump on Zoom and talk. So I would love to hear from you. Please reach out. And so now, all right, that's enough of that. Let's get to the guest here. I'm so excited for you to meet her. Terri Moore is my guest today, and she is a certified professional speaker, certified transformational coach, visionary coach, public speaking coach, and best-selling author of Face to Face with God, My Best Friend. What a great title. I love it. As a survivor of challenges including alcoholism, drug abuse, domestic violence abuse, sexual assault, attack, she has a story, I tell you, but she has transformed that experience into a powerful mission of helping others. And so Terri's goal, is helping people of any age learn to love themselves again and feel proud of who they have become, regardless of their past. So it's just your past. It's back there. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. It does. You forward. Forward is good. So Terri is the subject of this is really cool, a co-producer of Blessed Beyond My Scars, a short movie about some of her life story, which that's cool. Okay. Terri's also been featured on ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, and numerous other national, international podcasts and TV worldwide. So I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness here. Let's bring her on and get this show on the road here. Terri, thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. After reading your intro, I'm like even more enamored. I'm like, oh, okay, you're here. Look at this. This is awesome.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk with you for the next, hour or so.
Yeah. It'll be great. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So the one thing that I do like to ask at the beginning of the episode, everybody that's been on the show for, I don't know, for a long time, I always like asking one question at the beginning of the show, and it just kind of sets the stage because, like I was talking about, like we're all about hope around here, and so and you and I both know that visible conditions can present rough days,
Mhm.
rough years sometimes. When you were in the thick of it, when it was like you were down and down for the count, how did you still maintain your hope?
That's a very good question. How I maintained my hope was definitely walking in faith with God, no doubt about it. And, just learning to learn who I was,
Yeah.
because I had so many people telling me who I was when I wasn't. And so once I got rid of that power that they stole from me, then my life became amazing. That's the word I want to say, amazing.
It's a good word. I love it. That's awesome. Yes, faith has a huge part in it. I don't know. There's so many faiths out there, so many different people that believe so many different things. But I hear that a lot over the last 2 or 3 years that we've been running this show and doing this question, asking this question. That has been a common thread. It's not that's amazing, and I love that because I'm the same way. I'm with you. It's great.
Yeah.
So, well, let's dive into your story a little bit. So you talked to me about even a moment in kindergarten that kind of really impacted you and what'd you say, stole your power, right? And even as like people think, oh, kindergartners, they're just kids, they're bulletproof, they don't, no. Take us back there and tell us kind of how that shaped you.
Sure. Well, it was the first day of kindergarten, and that's our independent day, right? That's
Yeah.
when we say goodbye to mommy and daddy, and we walk in and we got our head held high, and I was in this cute little dress, and I had natural curly hair, so my curls were all put together, and
Nice.
I looked cute. And I walked
Yeah.
in, and my mom said, "You're going to be okay." And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I'll see you later, mommy." And within 5 minutes, a little boy named Jim Brocky came up to me, and he said three things to me that held me hostage for a very long time. He said, Why does your hair look like it's been put in a light socket?
Oh.
Why does your clothes look like it came out of a dumpster? And why are you so ugly?"
Oh.
And my sail just went out. I mean, the air just came out of my body after that. And I had a horrible first day of kindergarten. And my mom came to pick me up, and she says, "How was today?" And I said, "I'm not going back." Five years old, here I am. I'm already saying I'm not going back. I was rejected, I was humiliated. And so those things like that. And unfortunately, he was in my homeroom for 6 years tormenting me because our last names were the same, B as in boy. And
Yeah.
it was a lot. He was taken to the principal's office many, many times, but I could not
Yeah.
I could not escape the fact that he said those things to me. So I felt like an ugly duckling growing up most of my life until I actually became an adult, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, it's because he was in there every single day, right? So it's not like you could escape it. Every time you saw that kid, it probably reminded you of what he said, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's man, elementary school could be so brutal. I mean, everybody talks about middle school being rough, but man, that's not a great way to start off your school.
No.
Oh, well, and then on top of it, I mean, not all in kindergarten, of course. Throughout your, a little bit later, there was alcoholism and drug abuse and domestic violence and all. I mean, you have withstood a lot. I mean, can you share what it was like? Like that's a lot to just briefly, maybe like how was that growing up in all of that? I mean, that's nobody should have to do that. By the way, I'm so sorry, but you come out the other side better for it. obviously, but good Lord, can you just take us back there?
Sure. My parents were alcoholics, so they put their dependency on the bottle and not their children. And so I was raised around parents that would not make me feel good enough. Anything I tried to do, it was not good enough for them. My grades, ice skating, dancing, anything that they put me in, I was not good enough in their eyes. And when you're growing up in an environment like that, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is really, really tough. And so I admire people that have been raised in a functional family, although all families have dysfunctional stuff.
Everyone, at some level or another. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And then I had a brother who bullied me, practically every day and said things to me like, "You're trash. Nobody's going to love you. Nobody's going to want you. I don't even know why mom had you." And then he was trying to convince me that I was adopted. So that kind of just did a spinning wheel on me. And so basically, as I grew up, I became a professional ice skater, and that's where my coping magnetism was, because when I went to the ice skating rink, I was so popular that everybody wanted to be around me because I was a great ice skater. And so that's where I really managed to build my self-esteem up, if I could say that. And then when I was 27 years old, I thought I met the man of my dreams, and everything changed as a result of that. And that's when I became the alcoholic. Now I'm probably jumping ahead of you, so you go ahead and ask me questions.
No, you're good. You're good. It's all about the story, man. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time.
Right. Yeah. So when I was 27 years old, I thought I met the man of my dreams. He wine, dine, danced me, and he told me he had been Marine Corps for 9 years before we met. And then 3 months later, we were at his parents' house, and he was out fishing on the pier with his dad, and his mom and I were looking through baby pictures. And I was like, "Oh, he's so cute! That's my man." Yeah. And then the phone rang, and she goes, "Go ahead, keep looking through it, because this is my mom, and I'm probably gonna be on the phone a while." I was like, "Okay." And so I kept looking, and then I ran across a document that totally put me in shock. And this document read that my ex-husband was in prison for 9 years for first-degree murder.
What?
He killed a man in cold blood at 66 years old, dragged him into the woods to die. And so, okay, I'm in shock. And now I'm running for my life because there's no cell phones then. So I went to a restaurant and told the manager, I said, "Please hide me. I'm in danger." I didn't know what was going to happen once he realized I was gone. And so basically my parents came and got me and took me back to the house. And then he comes an hour later, and he threatens to kill me, my cat, my parents, everything. So I had to go back with him. And once his secret was out, he thought that he had every right to abuse me. So he would hit me in the face, try to break my bones. He held me hostage in the house. I could only go out to work. And then, he would go out and he would have affairs on me, and he'd come home and tell me about it. So, and when you're going through this, it just warps you of your self-confidence, your self-respect, your dignity, your identity. And so during that time frame, because it was 6 months till I was able to make my escape, because he was taking all my money from me. So in the meantime, I became a full-fledged alcoholic. It was the only way I could cope. And I actually became a drug dealer on the streets. And I was doing drugs. And it's just a miracle from God that I'm still alive, because, I could have got a very bad case of cocaine,
I mean, there's so many things in just what you just said that could have hurt you or killed you or made you disappear. It is a miracle you're here.
And then the odd thing that people, like when I'm standing on stages and stuff, and I share this. I'm like, what? So because he was holding me hostage with my money, I had to do some creative thinking. So I have been playing pool billiards since I was 5 years old. So I thought I'm just gonna go to this bar where everybody knows my name, and I'm just gonna start hustling people. Well, what's funny is that my legal name is Terry, but my business name is Terri. Long story short, it's just because of the speaker bureau, women's speaker bureaus and stuff.
Sure.
And so when people would come in, these men, they'd say, well, I'm here to see Terri Bracken. And that was my maiden name. And I said, oh, well, that's me. And they're like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. Yeah. $2,000 later, they're walking out with their head between their legs.
Oh, man.
And
that would be fun I'm not going to lie. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall watching that. That would have been, that sounds entertaining, honestly.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty funny. But, I can't play pool with the darn now, but I got to go out and practice.
You don't have to hustle anymore,
No, I don't have to hustle anymore, no. And so what happened was my ex-husband and I ended up getting a divorce, and he called me the night before and told me that if I come down to contest the divorce, he will come back, he will burn the house down, he will kill me, my cat. And so, I was tripping out on Valium and Jack Daniels. They were my best friends.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so what happened 2 days after that, I looked in the mirror, like I teach my clients now when I'm coaching them. Look in the mirror and tell me what you see on a scale of 1 to 10, meaning the best. Where do you see yourself loving yourself back in the mirror? And I use that all the time now because I asked myself that question that day.
Yeah.
And the resounding number was 0. Yeah. I do not love myself at all. I can even give myself a 1. So I looked in the mirror and I said, okay, Terri, you have got to get your act together. You are spiraling down very quickly. So what happened is that I decided I want to go to the department store that I grew up around, worked at many jobs, and I wanted to just go get some makeup. The bruises were so intense. I needed some makeup, because I couldn't go out in public hardly. And so what happened is I was getting ready to go into the department store, and a man approached me with a knife and walked me back to my car, threw me over the passenger side, and attempted to rape me. Oof. And here's what I said. And I know when I'm on stages, people do laugh at this, and I'm glad they do. Because I always want people to understand, don't mess with the perpetrator. Do everything you can to get out of that situation. Yeah. So what I told him, you can't rape me. I'm already pregnant, which I did not know I was, and that's a whole different story. Yeah. And then the other thing is that I told him I just escaped out of the mental institution. Oh. And he said, well, it figures. And so then I said, and my husband carries a .357 Magnum because he's a security guard in the shopping center, and he's going to come out looking for me. And here's what I tell women: don't say anything like that, because here's the next thing he said to me. Well, do you know of an open field that we can go to?
Yeah. Change of location then. Yeah.
Location. Yeah. So during that time, he had a knife to my throat, and then he would move it over to my breast and stuff like that. And then when the security officer was coming down, he said, make one false move and you're dead. And that knife was going into my side pretty heavily. Yeah. And so what happened is that I knew I was out of options. And here's the other thing, Jeff, is that there was a woman that was murdered 3 weeks before me.
Yeah.
Stuck in a trunk to die.
Jeez.
Now, I didn't know if I was dealing with the same perpetrator or not.
Right.
Yeah. So I ran out of options. So I thought, well, my only option is to pray. Yeah. And when I'm on stages, I tell this to everyone: don't have sympathy on me when I'm about ready to share, because this day turned out to be the most precious day of my life. And
Well,
you cannot hear any movement at all when I'm speaking because they're like, what?
right.
So here's what I did. I said, God, I don't know who you are. I don't worship you. I don't go to church. I'm a full-fledged sinner. But if you get me out of this situational life, I will turn my life over to the remainder of my days. And 2 seconds later, Jeff, that knife comes off my throat. He opens the car door and he tells me to get out.
Wow.
Now there's a lot more to that story, but
Well,
here's what happened the next day. I identified him in mugshots.
Nice.
And I sent him to prison for 30 years.
Love it.
And
That's
2
perfect.
weeks later, I was met at my restaurant that I worked at with a woman that I went to high school with and partied with. And I invited her to go out and have a drink. And she invited me to her boyfriend's Bible talk. I'm like,
Nice.
Well, that's a switch here. So I've been now walking with the Lord for 38 years.
I love it. That's amazing. And I know that there was I know there was that mindset shift at one point too. And it went you totally different trajectory, totally different. And we're going to talk about that in the second segment. We're going to go to a break. This is a really good place for a break because that is a perfect wrap up for a story like that. I mean, good Lord, that is an amazing story. And I hope that you all out there can appreciate what she's been through and what she's survived. I mean, how is she even still here? So thank you for all of that, Terri. And we're going to go to a break. And then we will come back, and I want to hear the rest of the story. We want to hear that pivot moment, So stick around, and we're going to go to a break in just a second. Thank you so much. Oh,
You're
my
welcome.
gosh! All right, everybody. I tell you what. Here's what we're going to do first. I'm going to take this off right here, and then we're gonna. I'm not. There we go. Is that it? No. That's the one. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I want to talk to you about our friends at Roast to Order Coffee. So just so you know, in case you haven't noticed, I drink coffee all the time. When I'm doing, if you see me doing a show and you see me drinking out of one of these mugs, it's probably got coffee in it. I am a full-fledged coffee nerd and have been for years and absolutely love great coffee. So if a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date on it within the last couple of weeks, I don't want to touch it. Okay. I don't want to have anything to do with it. That's why I love so much Mike at Roast to Order Coffee. He gets it. Okay. They roast their beans fresh. They ship them to your door, and they are always coming up with new, amazing varieties, flavors, types of coffee, delivery methods for coffee. Like you can get a bag of beans, you can get a bag of grounds, you can get the little pods, whatever your thing is, he's got you covered. Whether you love an Ethiopian light roast, espresso, decaf. I don't understand decaf. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. There's some people out there that love decaf flavored coffee. Maybe he's got you covered. He's even got you covered for Christmas because he has e-gift cards and he has coffee subscriptions that you can either purchase yourself or gift to somebody that you love. So use this QR code to order. And if you use this particular QR code during the show, you will get 20% off your first order. So go ahead and scan it. I'll leave it up there for about 2 more seconds. And then we're going to go to a break. So have an amazing day and enjoy this break and order some coffee. Okay. Let me know what you think of it too, by the way. Shoot me a message or on YouTube or Facebook and let me know what you got and how you like it. Because I'm excited. I always love trying new ones. So, all right, we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi, I'm Sarah Stockham, and I'm host of Simply Sarah. Join me Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific on the Achieve TV network for the best energetic tools to elevate your amazing life right here on E360 TV.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Terri, for being here. This is amazing. If you didn't catch the first segment, you want to go back and watch it because it was awesome. And her story is incredible. And I'm just going to say it. I never would have pictured you as a drug dealer. That's all I'm saying. Like, come on. Like you, I can't even capture that image in my mind. It's crazy. So what was that? You said you mentioned there was a mindset shift that kind of got you on the right track. It was like victim to victor, right? It was like, I'm not doing this anymore. We're moving in a different direction. Tell me what happened there and what resulted from that.
Sure. Well, when I became a Christian and within the church, I still had low self-esteem. And what would happen is people would come up and say, "Oh, you're going to be a great leader someday." And I'm like, "What? Not me. No way." Or "I love your dress." And, here's what I would say. "Well, thank you. I got it at Goodwill." And it was not like I do now. If somebody asked me, "Well, where'd you get the sweater?" I said, "Goodwill." So it's a whole different shift there. But
right.
The other thing is when I kept getting these compliments, I went home one night and I said, "I don't understand why these people say these things about me, but I am ready to go on a journey to discover who the real Terri is." Again, I got squashed so much in my past with, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not intelligent enough, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then plus the bully on top of that. So what happened is I decided to go on a spiritual discovery journey with God and said, "God, I know you created me to be better than this." And so what I did is I started just figuring out who I was. And I read this book. I picked up this book that changed my life forever. And it's called "Will a Real Me Please Stand Up?" Okay.
Nice.
And that's actually the last chapter in my book, Face to Face with God, My Best Friend. Okay. So as I went on this journey and learned to, first of all, forgive myself and then to forgive others, I was able to take that power back from my mom, my dad, the perpetrator, my ex-husband, my grandmother, my grandfather, anybody that was trying to derail me. And then once I started getting my power back, I started seeing a whole different person. And so there was days I'd wake up going, "Okay, am I going to be the old Terri? Or am I going to be the new Terri?"
Right.
So it was, obviously it was like a tug of war because, our adversary doesn't want me to know who I am. He wanted me to stay in that muck,
That's right.
So what happened is that through this journey, the real Terri started to emerge. And I looked in the mirror and I go, "Who are you?" Because I went from a very insecure, lacking confidence,
Yeah,
and a dominating person on top of that, because dominating people are so insecure with themselves, they feel like they have to control everybody.
yep.
That was me. And so then what happened is that once I went through this journey and I learned how to forgive these people and myself, the real Terri was out. And I fell in love with her. And, even though I'm years later, and I'm proud to say I'm 69 years young, and
Yeah.
I'm still kicking, it's like I still look in the mirror, and even though and this is what I tell women, even though you have crow's feet or gray hair or wrinkles or whatever, the idea is not to judge by that number of that external. You want to judge on that number in the mirror based on what you've been through, where you're at today, and where you're headed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm headed in such a great direction right now that it's my head's just spinning. Okay.
Nice.
But once you discover who you truly are, especially
Yeah.
in God, life changes forever.
That's amazing. And so how are you? And by the way, yes, I agree. Because he's the one that created you. So why not? I mean, I've come to realize in my years that it is useless to argue. Don't argue. It's his plan. And by the way, and you're not so important that you can derail his plan for your life, right? So
Right.
it's like if he's got you on a track, you're going there, And so tell us a little bit about so people go to this website. By the way, this QR code's been up there, so I hope you've been scanning it to see what is going on here. But when people scan that QR code, go to your website. Tell them what they're going to see and how they can reach out to you.
Sure. You're going to see a 5-minute speech with my movie. My movie's not up there yet, so I can talk about the movie. I just can't put it up there right now.
Sure.
And I'm sure you're going to talk about my short film anyway in a minute. So,
I mean, we can, I'll ask you about you can mention that. Yeah.
Okay. I have to keep my train of thought.
Go ahead.
So what was the question? I'm so sorry.
I have your QR code, your website on the screen. I just wanted people to be able to go there and know what they're looking at and what you're offering. Maybe I think you said you had a course coming up and you have your book and your everything, and how they can reach out to you if they have questions.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. When you get older, that just goes in and out sometimes. So on my website, you can purchase my book, and it's called Face to Face with God, My Best Friend. Nice. This is a best-selling book that's been out since 2015. It's still going strong today. So if you're looking for more intimacy with God and yourself, this is the perfect book for you. It is not a religious book. It is a spiritual-centered book. And the other thing is, too, when you go onto my website, you're going to find out how you can book a call with me, a 30-minute free consultation call to find out what is causing you to stay stuck or what triggers you are still experiencing from your past. The other thing is you can go on there and actually hire me to be a speaker. And so that's all on there, too, and I'll get back with you. The other thing is, too, is that there's testimonials about me. Which, I feel very humbled every time I get a testimonial.
Nice.
The other thing is, too, it's not up there yet, but I'm sure you could reach out to Jeff about this. But I have an empowerment class coming up on November 6th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the title is going to be Courage to Sparkle, Living the Life That Lights You Up. And we're going to talk about all kinds of different things. Why our lights go out and how to get those lights back in our eyes and be that shining light that we are created to be.
Yeah.
So,
and that's part of the reason we're doing the show today, because that gives you out there that want to be part of that course on November 6th time to go to the website and register and get yourself all squared away and get ready because it's going to be awesome. So yes, go to the website and find out more about that and go on November 6th. So that's going to be awesome.
Jeff, can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah.
So this book is a lot of places that you go online and order the book is you don't get it signed, right? Well, I made sure that when people pay for my book, It's coming straight to me, and I ship it out. I sign it and ship it out.
Nice.
Why should we have a book that doesn't have the author's signature, right? And it's funny because I get even, and when you date the book, like let's just say, okay, I become a very famous person. All right. And once I die, that book can become very, very, what I want to say, you can get a lot of money out of that book. I'm just saying, okay? It's just like Lucille
There you
Ball.
go.
You know, if you have a book that Lucille Ball wrote, it could be worth a lot of money right now.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And you know, she's a movie star, everybody. They made a movie about her. So come on, she's gonna be, you know, you'll want to hold on to that autograph. So for sure. And actually, after the show, after we get done, I know we neither one of us have a ton of time after the show, but I want to mention something to you after that about that autograph thing that might be able to make it a little easier for you to do that, because that is a really good idea, and I just heard about this the other day. So we'll talk about that after the show. But what else? So we got about 2 minutes before we're going to go to the last break. But I love the course. I love what you're doing. I love all the things. How did, like, what's been your, let's close the segment with this. What's been your biggest speaking gig so far? Your biggest accomplishment as a speaker so far?
Oh, great question, Jeff. I had the privilege of sharing the stage with Casting Crowns Christian artists.
Nice.
And long story behind how I met them and everything. But they were looking for a teen program to be on stage sharing about the domestic violence world in chaos. Yeah. And so, long story short, but they met me and they knew exactly what I did, because I opened a domestic violence organization for families, you know, teens, kids, women, family pets. And so I was able to share the stage with them in front of 8,000 people at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I delivered a message of hope and healing. Oh. I was starstruck. I was like on cloud nine, and I still am on cloud nine. In fact, I just reached out to Marcus, the band leader, and I said, when are you coming to North Carolina?
Seriously, man, you must have levitated and just floated off that stage after that, man.
Oh, I did. That's one of the best nights of my life. Yes, definitely.
That's amazing. I've had a couple of moments like that I didn't realize were bucket list moments until after they were done. And I was like, whoa, check out what just happened. So, yeah, I love that. That's so cool. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go to our last break, but when we come back, I want to let's talk a little more about how or testimonials, or about a little more how you work with people with what you're doing with your coaching, because for somebody to turn around what you've been through to actually want to help people and not just live in the corner all the time and say, leave me alone. I mean, you're helping people, and it's awesome. So we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. So stick around, don't go anywhere. And we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck, on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's Cause of Choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We got about 10, 11 minutes left, and I wanted to take that time to, if there's anything else that you wanted to make sure people knew about your program that you're working with, that you're offering to people, or if you have any, like, I'm sure maybe you've got some testimonials that you want to tell us about, or people that you've worked with that have been extra awesome. So, yeah, go for it. What I mean, there's got to be his client, that somebody that stands out, right? There always is.
Yes, I do. Actually, I have two.
Nice.
So I could share two of them.
Yeah.
So I had one lady that came to me, and when I asked her on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where do you see yourself loving yourself back in the mirror? She gave me a 1. So I took a deep breath and I said, well, we have a lot of work to do. Because that just shows me that she's got so many triggers. People have so much power over her right now. And so we started working together, and Lord and behold, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that she told me this, because if she wouldn't have told me this, I couldn't have worked through all this.
Yeah.
But she had over 30 affairs. Yes. 30
Whoa.
affairs, and some of them when she was married, and then some when she was single. And we just worked through every single relationship,
Wow.
and what did it do to her? What was the effect? How's it triggering you today? And I am so excited to say that when she looks in the mirror now, she is a loud and proud 10. And she came to my movie premiere night, and she actually did a testimonial on how my story impacted her.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
Yeah, she just sparkled. And the other one, in a brief story, is that I did a networking meeting, and I was a guest speaker, right? And this woman afterwards came up to me, and she says, I need to hire you. Now, I was kind of speechless. And I'll tell you why, because she looked like a blonde Barbie doll that had everything together. Okay.
Sure.
And I said, oh, okay. And so basically what happened was she had that imposter syndrome. She didn't want anybody to see what was going on the inside, right? She was happy-go-lucky on the outside, just like me pretty much when I was going through until I went on my journey.
Yeah.
So when I started digging into her life, well, come to find out, she had 4 husbands, okay, and they took her for granted, abused her, all kinds of different stuff. We worked together for about 6 months, and I'm happy to say that she now is a loud and proud 10. And because I get so close with my clients, Jeff, that I talk to her all the time now.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
And so those two stand out more than any of my other clients. I've had some rough ones, but these are the ones that, yeah, they've gone through a lot.
Well, they're the ones that make you want to keep going, because they're so amazing, such incredible stories. Yeah. God. Well, so speaking of that, if somebody that I know, somebody that you out there may know that is feeling stuck, shame and regret and all the things, what's the very first step they can take to start reclaiming that voice of theirs?
Sure, that's a great question. My very first meeting with them is I'm going to do a discovery session. And that means that we're going to dig, and I'm going to ask a lot of questions, mom, dad, and generally there's like a high percentage of most of the time I find it that's the dad that's the culprit of stealing the self-esteem from the little girl. Okay. And what I mean by that, they can be distant, they can be alcoholics, they could have been in prison, they could have walked out on the mom at a very early age, leaving them abandonment issues, trust issues, fear, rejection, all that. And so what I do is I go in, and then the next step is that I have an emotional clearing chart, and they have to circle everything that they feel negative towards themselves, like right now in the present. Yeah. And then we work around that. We work around those words, and then we move into 8 areas of self-esteem improvement. And then after that, then we go into forgiveness stages and the benefits and the detrimental part of not forgiving. And forgiving is not about the other person. It's about you.
Nope.
And once I forgave myself, and I was able to forgive over 13 people. So those 13 people, they have my power, And so that was the finalization of my self-discovery journey. And then that's when I started feeling freedom. And that's what I want for my clients. I want them to feel freedom. And so the next step is then I've got them all situated, and they're all, climbing up that ladder in the mirror. And so then we go into goal setting, and then we go into dreaming. And so by the time they leave my program, then they are well on their way. And a lot of people that interview me, they say, well, what is your return rate? I can honestly say very proudly, it's probably 99% that.
Wow.
Yeah. They do not return to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, and I love that because there's so many things out there, and please understand, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus here. Everybody's different things help different people. For me, the once a week for the rest of your life therapy was never the answer. It was just rehashing the same thing over and over and over. So we didn't do, my wife and we never really did that for very long. What I really love is when you go meet somebody and they get your story, and then they give you tools. And then those tools, so it's a short time that you're with them, and it's not a continuous lifelong thing. And then you have the tools for the rest of your life to use and help yourself, and it sounds like that's kind of what you're doing, and so I love that. That is beautiful, because that's so empowering too, to know that you have it in your own hands,
right,
to help yourself and those around you, breaking that cycle of whatever has been happening,
Yes.
So,
and the most rewarding thing that happens to me as a coach is when a woman that meets me for the very first time, she comes out and tells me that she was sexually molested as a child.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is she says, I've never told anybody that before.
That's huge.
I go, you know what? You just stole their power. You just took their power back, because you just said that and you confessed that. And now guess what? It's not going to come back to haunt you as much as you think it is.
That's right.
So I feel those very proud moments, because I want people to feel the warmth around me. I want them to feel safe. And
Yeah.
a lot of people that interview me, they ask me, well, what makes you stand out unique? And I said, well, based on my testimonials, it's simply that I share my story before I even let them start, because I
Right.
want them to know that I'm not a coach that's just going to sit there and, how are you feeling today? And just give them a little bit of pointers and take their money and send them out the door,
Nope. You can relate. You can relate. That's the powerful thing. You can relate to the
Absolutely.
people that are coming to you because you've been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
huge. Well, in the last, I'd say maybe minute and a half that we have, what's the last thing you'd like to leave our audience with today?
I want to leave my audience with that if they are stuck in their life and they know they have emotional triggers and they're not the same person they're the same person that they were last year, then I'd really like them to come and talk to me and take that opportunity of that 30-minute consultation, complimentary. Okay, let me try that again. 30-minute complimentary session.
There it is.
and so let's find out, if we're a good fit. And I've helped over thousands of women and men in my coaching experience, and I just want to help the world, because there's so many women and men walking around the face of this world that do not know who they are.
Right.
They have no idea. So when they look in the mirror, they'll give themselves a 1 because somebody has stolen that power. And so I would love to work with anyone. And the other thing I want to just say, I'm looking for stages all across the world, virtual.
Yes.
I'm looking for TV shows like yours. I'm looking for film producers. I am looking to be on stages. And, I want to share my story, but yet I want to share my short film too. So
absolutely.
Please send them my way.
I love that. And actually, I might have a connection for you on that. So we'll talk after the show for sure. Cause I think I just got it just this weekend where we were, I met several people in that world. So we might have something to talk about.
Okay.
So yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Terri, and for telling your story and being so open to sharing the not pretty parts. It's not always, that's the most powerful part. So thank you so much. So much. Appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, Jeff. It's my pleasure. And I hope everyone has a wonderful and great, blessed day.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody. Man. Okay. You can't deny that was awesome. That she's got a powerful story. And if you missed it, I highly recommend you go back and watch this episode again. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here. And whether you've been here since the beginning and you've seen us grow through the last several years and 6 seasons, we're still in season 6, everybody. This is crazy. I love it. I feel like we've been here forever. And at the same time, I feel like we're just getting started, and you're part of that. And I thank you for that. So no matter where you're watching, Facebook, YouTube, Apple TV, Roku TV, E360, whatever, thank you. Be a part of it. Let me know where you're watching from, and like, follow, subscribe, share all the things. I want to get to know my audience and know kind of where they're coming from and what they love about these stories, because I get something out of it, but I want to know if you get something out of it. So let me know. And join us for our next show, which will be Tuesday, October 28th. And till then, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.